Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. Forewarning, my voice is still going out. I am working clue number 9 of the Tree of Life. I am #woodland, and let's see. This is our next to last clue. We have one more clue coming out on November 1st. And then our Tree of Life will be done. I am doing the large clue. And the large clue has a total of 8 pieces that we will be doing. So this is a picture of the 8 pieces that we will be making. So I am just going, and I already have all my fabrics laid out right here. I have my colorway listed right here. So, and for those of you, I get my Tree of Life monthly, and this is what the package looks like. You will get a cardboard package. It's very thin. It will have all of your, it'll be an envelope or a clear plastic package with all of your clue and your fabrics in it. Now on my Wild West, I paid for all of that up front, so it came in one box. This I pay for monthly, and it comes in the separate individual packages. So what we're going to do is just get started. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. I do a lot of sewing, a lot of sewing. And I do, let's see, a lot of sewing and a lot of shopping. And I have moved most of my cooking over to my other channel. I don't do it as often. So, you know, it is what it is. I get a lot of stuff done, though. So we are going to start with, we're making 4 of these. We need to get 4 of our A blocks or A pieces. I'm hoping this is the right size. This is the small triangle. It says the large triangle. I need the large triangle. So I need 4 of these, and that may be all I have. Yes. My large triangle, and I do 4 small C's. These are my C's. I wouldn't know that if I wasn't looking at my colorway over here with me. My color guide that shows me my pattern, you know, my fabric designs. So what we're doing is making 4 flying geese. So let's just get in it and get started, and let's just make it happen. When I am doing my flying geese, I know some people, everybody probably has their own way of doing it. I line the fabric up to the bottom of the triangle here. I do the right side first of all of them, then I press it, and then I do the left side. And I start at the top. Now, I have seen some people that start at the bottom and then stop when they get close to the top. I sew all the way to the top. And we are going to be sewing it at that 1/4 of an inch. I've already got my little iron over here heating up, so we can get that pressed, and I'm hoping I finish this before I have to start getting ready. We had this morning, it is Saturday. I got up and watched Sean's live this morning. He had Donnell on there. I had to go because, as always, my sister and I have breakfast every Saturday together. And we went to check on the event we kind of had a bridal breakfast this morning. And then we went and checked on the hall to make sure everything was set up. You know, the tables were set up and tablecloths and all the decorations. And the girls were all started working on that. They are getting that part done. And so then my sister and I just came back because she didn't need to help or do anything. So we just came back, and I was like, well, I really need to get my tree of life done, because I haven't even started it. Now, I only pulled 4 of these because I can only do 4 at a time anyway. And I'll pull 4 more once I get this pressed out. And the items that I use, I do have the Aliso M3 Pro. I love this iron. And they did have it on a deal for Amazon days. So I had included a link to that. I think you could get it for $60-something. Which, I mean, if you see how much they normally cost, is a deal. So, guys, I'm going to press these, and I will be right back. Okay, I got 4 of these pressed out. The other thing I use, I was telling you about what I use. I use the Best Press. And I have all of this linked down in my description. If you're ever interested in anything that I ever use, I probably have a link down in the description for you. If you are a content creator, a new content creator even, or an old, it doesn't matter, and you're looking for a new, let's just say a new mic set to use, or you a new creator and just don't know which one to use, I use the Rode Wireless. It is all a learning process when you start content creating and trying to learn, you know, what do I use, what, you know, for some reason my machine is not wanting to grab, so I guess I'm going to have to sew this from the bottom to the top on the second piece. But I use, it's called Rode Wireless 2 Go maybe. And it's Rode Wireless Go 2. And I have found, because I had gone through a couple different mics when I started, and it would have been so helpful if someone had kind of mentioned that. But always, 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 if there's anything that I ever use that you have a question about, I am always available to be reached. For questions, you can not call me. You can email me. My email address is down in the description. I do respond to my emails. It may not be within an hour because I only have access to this email address when I am not at work. I do work a 40-hour-a-week job. Monday to Thursday, I do 10-hour days. And this information is just for those new people because I've had quite a few new subscribers. And I know for new subscribers, you're kind of coming in green, don't know what's going on. I don't mind giving you a little information about myself. You know, I work a 40-hour job outside of the home, Monday to Thursday. I do YouTube every day, just about. I really don't record on Sundays except for my updates. I do those Sunday evening because you never know. I may decide, because I spend time with my family on Sundays. And I may decide to do a little sewing on a Sunday if everybody has other engagements to be at. I thought I was going to have my grandbaby this weekend, and I'm not. Won't have her until the end of the month. So that's good because we're having a hot air balloon festival here that weekend. But even today, my sister and I were talking about, you know, what's happening this month. You know, things that the grandbabies can do. And my daughter-in-law had called. The reason we started talking about it was because my daughter-in-law had called and was wanting to know when our church is doing the trunk or treat. And the fall festival, and then the elementary school is doing a fall festival, and you know, she was just asking things like that. But she was wanting to know if she needed to send me a costume for the weekend I have her, and I'm like, I really don't know. I don't know what's going on. Well, we started checking, and we know there's some hockey games that weekend, and which I'm not going to take her to a hockey game without her mama and daddy. But there is the hot air balloon festival, and it's nothing major. It's just a simple festival. You know, it's a small festival. It's not like the big ones. So I will be taking her to that, because I will be going to the hot air balloon festival possibly with my sister. So we're just looking at things to do this month. You know, we have, like I said, we have the trunk or treat, and then at my sister's house, we're doing a costume party. I think maybe the first weekend in November for my great niece's birthday party. She doesn't want to have a birthday party, which is understandable. But she didn't want a party. She's at the age she didn't want a party. She's in her teenage years. We're just doing her a little bonfire costume party. We're kind of doing that as our Halloween for all of our kids, our grandkids. Our kids are grown. So it's for our grandkids. And what we do, they have a pit out in their backyard, and we just do a bonfire in the pit so it doesn't get out of control. But that will be fun, and they know they're invited to that. So they'll probably come to that. I don't know if they're going to be able to make the wedding today. My niece is getting married. And she got on to my sister was telling me that she had told her she bought a dress. And my niece told her, you know, you didn't have to buy a dress. My sister don't wear a lot of dresses. And because my niece is like, this is going to be basic, simple. I do. They've already talked to the officiant. And told the officiant they do not want a long ceremony. They just want the I do, and let's sit down and eat. So, that is what she's having. They're just having a quick wedding to, I always say, to legalize their relationship. They know they love one another, so that's all that matters. I tell them, you just have to get married in order to put them on your health insurance at work. Okay, guys, and just like that, I've got the first 4 pieces completed. Going to lay those out of the way. 9A and 9B are complete, so now I'm working on 9C. So we're just sewing A and D together, and how many are we making of this? We're making 6. I'm going to count out my 6. It's probably how many I have. And what this is going to be half square triangles. Okay, so now we have all of these half square triangles done. I think there's 6 of them. So let's see what we do to our 6 half square triangles in this clue. We will add a square to a D square. So let me state that, a D square. And we'll do that to 2 of them. So we only have 2. To the bottom of one of the half square triangles. That's not a D square. I just about messed up, y'all. Just about messed up. I think what I better do is press these. I'll be right back. Okay, now that I have these pressed, I can do these without worrying about messing it up. I will make 2 with the D square, which is what I'm putting on here now. Yeah, even though I have been sewing a good bit this weekend, I still feel like I haven't sewn any. I completed the Creative Notions Presley's Dream. Now let's see what my next 2 are. An A square and a D square. We're making 2 of those. I guess probably because all I did this past week was work on that Presley's Dream to get it done. And I slowly want to take my project boxes and start getting them completed, you know, getting all the projects in them done so I can get rid of the boxes. They are back here behind me over here beside my computer desk, and they stack from the ground all the way to the top, and my computer desk top is up here. They literally stack over it. I don't know why I'm sitting there pulling. Yeah, I do. I need those to be coming apart because I need to put these 2 units together. So I want to start breaking my subscription boxes down and getting some projects done in them. I'm having to make sure I press to the correct side. Have those 2 sets pressed now. I need to attach them together. So we are going to put them together this direction here and here. Okay, so this is good. They actually have our seams nesting right here, but with my subscription things, my cotton cuts, I pretty much stay on top of it. It does not pile up because it's already cut, and that's the biggest thing for me is cutting the fabric. Now I did just recently purchase another AccuQuilt die for my AccuQuilt. So maybe one of the most common cuts of fabric, and I have a lot of them, but I ordered one of the most common cuts of fabric to see if it will make my cutting fabric a little quicker for me. We're trying. We're seeing what's going to make things quicker and easier, and if you can cut 12 of a single block at one time, and then you can layer it 10 layers of fabric at the same time, yeah, that's a given. That's 120 squares at one time that I will gladly take on. Okay, so we have 2 of these made. I'm going to lay them over here to be pressed. And then we start with a D square, and then we're doing 2 of these as well. So we're just doing what we just did opposite than what we did. But we're only doing 2. I can get that D fabric to let loose and let me grab it, because I haven't been able to use my AccuQuilts as much as I would like to. And I think I saw something about where Cotton Cuts uses something like an AccuQuilt to cut their pieces, which is pretty great because they are spot on. When you sew it, you know it's going to be accurate, unless, you know, your machine stretches it. It's going to be accurate. And I have had my machine stretch it. And I have realized also when pressing the fabrics, do not move your iron. That is called ironing. It is not pressing. if I'm not having to use that piece again, I'm just snipping it and putting it over here. I guess I need to put them in the order. Now I need C and F. C is our blue fabric. We're going to use small triangles. I know people, they've said they want to try something not in their wheelhouse, you know, a color. I try everything, but if I don't know what the pattern is going to be, no, I'm going to use colors that I know I would love. Especially if I don't know what the, if I don't know the pattern, at least one thing I want to know that I'm going to like is the colors. Now, I do know I need to press these to put the other side on, so I will be right back. Now we are going to just keep on the sewing. And yeah, I think I'm in about 45 minutes right now. That's with pressing and everything. And I only like to sew for an hour. I'm trying to stick to that timeline. I really am. I'm trying to stick to it. So y'all will probably notice some of the videos are shorter. But I like to do my Saturday and Sunday videos a little longer. So you have a sew-along video to do while you're sewing. So I'm going to press these now because we're going to start assembling our section 9C. Okay, I think I have all of the pieces to start assembling some of the blocks. This is the first part of this block. The second part is going to be taking this piece right here. We're going to flip it this direction, and then this in this direction. Okay, so this is going to be our second unit, to where we are going to be, I'm trying to make sure these two come together right there. I'm going to pin this on this side to keep it pinned. And what we are doing is just starting to sew our individual units together. That will make up our completed block. Well, and I tell you what, getting over that seam, that's a little tricky. So I think what I'm going to do is sew it from the other side. Going to line up the edge there, the edge and the top, and then I'm going to come to the other end and line up that edge and the top. Yeah, I'm so happy to be in my sewing room today sewing. I wish I could sew all day, but I can't. But after that wedding, I will. I will get back in here and start sewing again, because I have projects I want to get completed so I can get new projects going. And I did notice I have one of my bins for projects that I have all the fabric for is empty. My bins are right here behind me. These bins right here, those are shoe boxes. It's got front flap doors on them. They are amazing. Love them. Once I get all of the fabric, now one of those is my cross stitch. Is the top one on, like if you're looking at it the left, the top left is my cross stitch. So I'm trying to make sure I keep everything. Oh, well now I have to put these two together. So let me press. So now I have those two done. So we should take our 2 units that we already have done. Trying to make, okay, whew. Y'all, I'm telling you. I'm sitting here thinking, oh Lord, I done put all these together wrong. I hadn't. I just don't have them turned right. Oh goodness, goodness gracious, goodness gracious. But my seams do nest right here. Pinning that in. I will reiterate probably every video that I do. This is not a tutorial. We are just sewing along. You're going to see any mess ups I make. And I talk to myself a lot when I sew. That's why YouTube for me while sewing is perfect. Because it makes me look not so crazy. It makes it look like I'm talking to you guys, which I am. I love it when you guys come and spend the day with me. Sewing, creating, making beautiful quilts or handbags, whatever you're making. I do have a bag that I want to make. It's in one of my working bins, and it's been there for probably the better part of 6 months. It is something I want to do, something I've never done, but I want to do. So I would like to break that out. Okay, guys, I'm going to press this since this is a larger unit of what we're about to start attaching to. I want to press this because I need to make sure I'm doing it to the right direction. Okay, so now we're getting here. And the closer I get to having a unit completed, the more pressing I do. So now we're doing our last 2 half square triangles with our last 2 squares. And yeah, I probably haven't really touched on cotton cuts a lot in this conversation, but if you don't know about cotton cuts is a either monthly subscription. They have subscription boxes that you can do, but this that I'm working is the Puzzle Mystery Quilt. This is I believe this is the Tree of Life. So this is the spring of 2024 Puzzle Mystery Quilt. It's called Tree of Life. You get 10 clues for your quilts, and you can pay it all at once and get all of your fabric up front in a box, or you can pay monthly and get a little cardboard envelope like I showed you. If you pay monthly, you will get that, and I will just say this, be at the mercy of the Postal Service. Now we are showing that we are assembling A and D. This is D. It's not showing that we're assembling them, but it is showing that we'll add the D, then we'll add the A. I'm just going to take these 2 and put them together and then add it. That way I could press them both at the same time and then only have one to press. So this is my D. This is my A. I guess it really doesn't matter since they're both squares. It doesn't matter which direction I do it. But anyway, back onto the Puzzle Mystery Quilt. You can do a small or a large. I believe the large comes out around a 72 by 72. And I think what happens is you just have more borders with it. I'm not real sure. I think you do. I think you have more borders. And I think I did get the border kit with it this year. Okay, now we are going to put these units together, and it's only going to be two units I'm just putting together. I'm going to sew them from the opposite side because the other side has that seam on it, and it just seems like it goes through better if I put it towards the bottom. And once again, we're only making 2 of these. And next we are going to start assembling all of section 9C. And then we have a section 9D. But once I get these pressed, we will start assembling. Okay, I now have this pressed. So what we are going to do, this is the direction it is going to be on top. Whoops. I pulled my completed pieces out. That piece is going to be on top of this one here. So we have nesting seams, so I need to pin. What I was telling y'all earlier about, this is not a tutorial. A tutorial is to teach you how to do something. I'm showing you how to not do a lot of things. Oh, I would not say that I'm teaching anybody anything other than sewing is so much joy. Just have fun with it. Don't limit yourself to a particular style or anything. And that's why I love cotton cuts so much, because it's so out of my comfort zone. With cotton cuts, you are given control over to other people. The only thing you are controlling is the color of your quilt, and they actually semi have control over that, because you know they pick the colorways that they're doing or cutting, and you just choose which one you like the best. And I like blues and blushes and peaches and tans and colors like that. I like all colors, but I have to try to think what's going to go in my house, because the quilt's probably not leaving my house. I want to look at that seam at the very end. Yeah, because that's kind of a little tight, funky seam, but that's okay. It'll work, because once it's quilted, ain't nobody gonna see it. I hope to share my joy of sewing, being able to make something. I have several things that I'm wanting to do. I am wanting to do a garment, and that one is going to take a minute or two. So I'm trying to figure out when I can schedule that in, because it has to be cut, and to cut it, I'm going to have to cut it all on a weekend when I have time, because during the week there is no time to cut a garment pattern. It's just not. Okay, so now we have our two. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have swirls. Lots of swirls in this. Okay, Unit 9C is done. So we have A, B, and C. And now let's work on D. Looks like we just have two half-square triangles. Not half-square triangle. Two flying geese that we're making. So let's get started on our D. And we have C. Is the D goes with C? Yes. Okay. Making sure, because I still have two sets of small triangles. And I just want to make sure I'm not doing the wrong ones. But it looks like our pattern is going to be swirls. I could probably spread them out and figure them out, but I'm not doing that. I'm not going to try to figure out what the pattern is. I will be surprised when I get my finishing instructions. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I don't let the cotton cuts get behind, because when those finishing instructions come in, I want to be able to get on my quilt and get it finished. Now, this will be a quilt that does go to the long arm, the big long arm, because I have quite a few already that I need to tend to. More quilts than I like to admit, actually. And you guys will probably see all of them on the updates Monday, because I think I'm going to pull all of my quilts this weekend that need to be finished, quilted, bound, whatever they need to be done. I think I'm going to pull them all and, you know, get them together, trim them up, like if they need to be bound, trim them up. because I still have my Craftsman, and that one just has to get done. Because that one was going to go on my bed, not my bed, but my spare bed. And, you know, the holidays are coming up, so who knows though, that's not a Christmas quilt, so that one, I may just hang that up. I have a quilt hanger in that room. I may just hang that quilt on that quilt hanger in that room. But I have that pressed flowers. It's red and pink, and it may be big enough. You know, it may be big enough to oh y'all, I was getting scared there. The way the pattern looks, it looks like I had done it wrong. It may be big enough to do as a bed cover, but not sure. I am going to be pulling them out though, because I do need to get them trimmed, and I need to make sure I have all of my binding, you know, sewn together, rolled up, ready to go. And I have a couple, like I have a Fat Quarter Shop, you know, one of their subscription box patterns that I did. The Bob and Blooms. I still haven't got that one quilted. So I haven't got the bind ready for it. I don't even know if I have. Yeah, I think I have the backing for it. It's just so much that I have that I need to get done. And I think I'm just going to have some finishing times. I just hope to be able to start getting some of these done. I know it's a lot of them, and I don't want to do a finishing every day because that will really burn me out on the quilting, because I don't always know how I want to quilt stuff. And guys, I'm paying attention to the time here, and it looks like we're getting close to about an hour and a half. So I have gone over my sewing time today. I'm going to have to hurry up and get off of here, because I think I told my daughter the wedding was at 2, and it is not until 4. Oh, that went wrong. Let's see how bad that got off. I may have to redo it. Not too bad. Okay, so let's start putting these together. And this, once I get these two done, this will complete our 9D. So this was a little bit longer clue than we normally have. We have more pieces to do in it. But they have been fairly simple. This one has. And that is the thing about cotton cuts, is a beginner can do this all the way to an expert level. Because you are actually doing skills, you know, learning skills, like have square triangles in the flying geese. You're learning those skills that are more advanced. Even though the pieces are cut for you, though. I like it when they're cut. That way I don't have to... I like the flying geese on the cotton cuts because they're already cut. I'm not good at flying geese. And it doesn't matter which end I go from. I'm going to have that seam on both ends. Let me see if I try to sew it from the back side of it, if it's easier. Only thing that helps right there is I already had one sewn, and I could help pull it through. So guys, I'm going to cut these and then press them And we will see clue 9D, and that will be it. Okay, guys, so here is our final clue. This is 9D. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today for a little bit of so-and-so, a little bit of chit-chatting. I do appreciate each and every one of you for joining me. If you've not yet, please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. Check out Cotton Cuts. I do have their link down in the description. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Goodbye.